Olu had been a poor fisherman for most of his life, spending his days casting his net into the sea, hoping for a good catch. One day, while fishing on the outskirts of the village, he noticed something strange glinting beneath the water. Curious, he dived into the depths and retrieved a handful of ancient cowrie shells. To his astonishment, the shells were smooth, shiny, and unlike anything he had ever seen before. They were a rare form of currency, a treasure that had not been seen in the village for generations. His heart raced as he realized the wealth he had stumbled upon. With his newfound fortune, Olu became a wealthy man almost overnight. He bought land, built a grand house, and began living a life of luxury. The villagers looked on in awe, and soon, they were eager to share in his good fortune. But as the days passed, strange things began to happen. Crops that had once flourished began to wither, and villagers who had helped Olu with his riches started to suffer misfortunes. One by one, misfortunes befell them, illness, accidents, and even loss of family members. Olu soon realized that the cowrie shells, though beautiful and valuable, were cursed. Each shell seemed to carry a heavy price, and it was too late to reverse the damage they had caused. The villagers had become wary of him, casting suspicious glances whenever he walked through the streets. Olu's heart grew heavy with guilt as he realized that the wealth he had accumulated was causing more harm than good. He became restless, wondering if the curse could be broken. Eventually, he sought the counsel of the village elder, an ancient woman who had lived through many generations. The elder explained the origins of the cowrie shells and warned that they had once belonged to a powerful but vengeful spirit, one who demanded a terrible toll for the riches they offered. Olu was left with a difficult choice: keep the wealth and suffer the consequences, or return the treasure to its rightful resting place to restore peace to the village. Torn between his desire for wealth and the suffering of his people, Olu embarked on a journey to find the hidden cave where the cowrie shells had originally been found. His heart was heavy with the burden of the decision, but he knew that peace and prosperity could only be restored if he returned the treasure. His journey took him deep into the wilderness, through thick forest and treacherous terrain, where he encountered dangerous creatures and faced many challenges. Along the way, he learned the value of patience and resilience, realizing that true wealth was not found in gold or shells but in the strength of his character. After many days of travel, Olu finally reached the cave. It was a place of great power, surrounded by ancient trees and a sense of mystery. As he stepped into the cave, he was greeted by the same glowing light that had once illuminated his path. The cave was filled with the same cowrie shells, but now they seemed less beautiful, their glow dimmed by the weight of the curse. With a heavy heart, Olu carefully placed the shells back where they belonged, offering a silent apology to the spirit who had once guarded them. As he left the cave, a sense of calm washed over him. The air felt lighter, and the oppressive weight that had hung over the village seemed to have lifted. Olu knew that he had made the right choice, even if it meant sacrificing his newfound wealth. He returned to the village, not with riches, but with the peace of knowing that he had restored balance to his home. Life in the village slowly returned to normal. The crops began to flourish again, and the misfortunes that had plagued the villagers seemed to fade away. Olu, though no longer a wealthy man, was content. He had learned that true prosperity came from the bonds he shared with his community, and that wealth, when used recklessly, could cause more harm than good. As he walked through the village, he was greeted by smiles and laughter, and he realized that he had found a deeper treasure than he had ever imagined. Months passed, and the villagers prepared for a grand festival to celebrate the return of peace. The air was filled with excitement as they worked together to organize the event. Yora, Olu's closest friend, took charge of the preparations, while Olu and Nuru, a young boy who had become like a son to him, helped with the decorations. The festival was a vibrant display of the village's unity, with music, dancing, and feasts that brought everyone together. As the night drew near, Olu stood at the edge of the village, gazing at the stars above. He felt a deep sense of gratitude for everything he had learned, for the lessons of humility, unity, and love that had transformed his life. Yoro joined him, and together they watched as the village came alive with celebration. Olu realized that the true wealth of the village was not in the gold or shells, but in the hearts of the people who lived there. The village's prosperity continued to grow, not through material wealth, but through the strength of the community. Olu became a teacher to the young, sharing the wisdom he had gained from his experiences.